Hey! Here we are, episode 4 of Rupaul's Drag Race, season 10. This is Divina de Campo from no, it's not, I'm lying, it's me. Hello everybody. So I thought I'd do a little Martian look for you this week. I've done my wig, I've made myself some gloves today. They're a little bit wonky. Who knew that gloves were so difficult to make? I've made myself a little catsuit, stoned it. I owned this already and my visor. Anyway, if it's good enough for Rupaul, it's good enough for me. That's what I say. We have waved goodbye to Yuha Hamasaki. Goodbye, girl. But you know what? She's still riding high. She's still the #1 favourite on Reddit this week. Woo! Yes, she is. We come back into the workroom and they've washed everything off the mirror and we're into some mini drama straight away with Monét and Mayhem. Now this is the point where I need to apologise because for some reason I decided that Monét Hart was called Monica Hart. I don't know why I decided that, but I did. She's not. She's called Monét Hart. So I apologise. Now moving on. So we have a little bit of drama with those two about Mayhem throwing Monét under the bus. Well, did she, didn't she? Not really. I mean, she just said I should have spoken to her and I didn't. So whose fault is that? Well, actually it's Mayhem's, isn't it? When they've come back into the workroom for the next day, this is the stuff that I like best. The kind of light shade throwing. You know, it's not aggressive, it's not being mean, it's not being vindictive, and it's all being taken in the right way. You know, people have just had enough time with each other to kind of understand where the boundaries are, and now the library is open. And these are the bits in the show that I love the most, where we get to see the funny interactions between the girls. That's what makes it brilliant for me. All the rest of it, the girls' mini challenge is to photobomb a celebrity. Of course, as per usual, Monét thinks that she should win. I can't help thinking that what Vixen said last week about, you know, if you keep thinking you should have won and you're not even in the top, you need to step your bussy up. I can't help but think that that applies at this point. Her picture was great. It was brilliant, you know, very good. But Aquaria just picked it by picking up Kim's poo off the floor. Classy girl. The main challenge this week was for the girls to perform in a ball. So they had to deliver 3 different looks. Bearing in mind they've just delivered one in 15 minutes, they now have to prepare 3 more looks. So they have to do a winter, a summer, and an end of the world Martian ball look. This is the point where we're sort of going, Rupaul said this programme wasn't going to be political, and yet this has been one of the most politically charged seasons yet. Is that because it's finally broken through to the mainstream and so he has a platform? If it is, props to you. I am loving it. After everybody's separated and they're all working away on their own little projects, Rupaul comes back in, and this is the point now in the season where we start to get a bit more of a feel for everybody and we get a little bit more information from everybody. You know, it's not just a selective few. Now we're getting a bit of information from every single person in the room. And Rupaul brings up the fact that Monét has only been wearing short wigs up to now, and let's be honest, 2 of the looks that she served up have looked very similar to each other. Both blonde, both red sequin. Like, so Rupaul clocks her on this. And to me, as soon as Rupaul says anything to you about stuff like that in the workroom, he is red flagging right there, saying you need to do something about this because otherwise you are going to be in big trouble. And all the girls, because they've all seen this and they all know, all the girls around her are laughing their heads off because she is being read to filth about this. The thing I'm a bit confused about with Monét is that she's saying, you know, she is a fashion queen, she's, you know, looking at all the magazines, da da da. Well, I'm not a fashion queen. It's not my thing. Monét gets up on stage and will entertain people for 2 hours. That's what I do. I put on a show. So if you want a catwalk queen, well, you kind of need to go to somebody else. I'm a costume queen, you know, I like a costume. I'm not walking the catwalk for Westwood or for Versace or for Gucci. That's not my shtick. That isn't what I do. And that's okay. And it's okay to say, that's not really what I do. I'm an entertainer. That's what I do. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. It doesn't work. All the girls are working away, busy beavering away, and Asia is in and out helping everybody. We've seen this time and time again, where girls have helped other girls to their own detriment, where they've given too much time to other people's projects, and so they haven't focused enough on themselves. And this is what Asia's doing right now. She wants everybody to succeed. You can see that in her. It is a competition and she wants to win, but she doesn't want anybody else to fail in order for that to happen, which is admirable. That's really wonderful. But it's also a competition. And so you have to manage your own time and be like, well, I know I have this and this and this to do, and I need to make sure my shit is together. And you also have to be a little bit selfish and sort of go, well, I can help you, but I can only help you so much. Because at some point, I end up doing the work for you. And if you've come to the competition and you don't know how to sew, you don't know how to work a sewing machine, you don't know how to thread a bobbin, you don't know how, if you don't know how to do that stuff, why have you applied for Drag Race? Now we're into everybody putting on their makeup and they're sorting out, some of their looks and stuff. And the Miss Cracker questions Aquaria about whether she's got a sugar daddy or not. And at this point, Aquaria dispels this. But for me, she's missed a trick here, because what Cracker does is she turns it all around, and instead of it being Aquaria's moment, which she's set up, Aquaria just hands it to Miss Cracker, who then goes, well, listen, if there are any sugar daddies out there, I'm quite willing to be, she's quite happy for them to be her sugar daddy, and she does it straight to the camera. Like, it's an absolutely brilliant moment, and Aquaria just handed it to her. So while Aquaria has got, the looks side of everything down, to me it doesn't feel like she's got the whole kind of thought process behind how to make TV and performance work yet. She hasn't quite got her brain into gear with that, which we see when she's talking to Rupaul, and Rupaul says, oh, that's a great line. While other girls were reading books, I was serving looks. And then she can't repeat it, which, she's 21, she's a baby, she has an enormous amount of skill and talent already for somebody at 21. So that's something that she'll grow into, just not there yet. So there's so many looks now on the runway to go through that I'm just going to keep it really brief to my favourites and my least favourites for each different look. So the first lot onto the runway is the summer look, which is the winter look because of global warming. And my least favourites are the vixen. It's like there's no shape to any of the outfit, and because it's see-through, everything is on show, and I think there's just not quite enough illusion going on for me. My other least favourite was Dusty. The hat is nice, and then the rest of it is just awful. It's horrible. And the other thing with Dusty is she wears those opaque tights. Well, I love a dance skin. I love a bit of shimmer on my leg. And so to me, it just makes your legs look like uncooked sausages. It kind of sucks all the light out of everything. And I think they just look really cheap as well. I think they look really cheap. Like you've bought them in Primark, because that's where you've bought them. The other person who I think their look just didn't quite hit the mark was Miss Cracker. Again, it was that thing about it just read as a boy's body. The workmanship in the costume was great. The idea was great. I get that she's modelling one of those little plastic hula dolls where the body's tiny and then they have these massive jiggly heads. But it just didn't work for me. My favourites in this first run were Aquaria. Although I liked it, I didn't know that necessarily it was a summer look, because it's just a wrestling costume. So it was a bit, if she was auditioning for the Ladies of Glow, great. Yeah, a brilliant costume, but I don't know that it was exactly, it wasn't fit for the criteria. And then the other person whose outfit I really loved on this, I thought she looked absolutely sensational, was Monique with the watermelons. Everything, just the movement of everything was perfect. My least favourites in the winter/summer look were Monét. There was space in the dress for a breast form and it wasn't there. The dress itself was quite shapeless and the coat just made everything look massive. The other person I thought just didn't do it at all in this was Blair. It was a coat with a belt and that was it. Like, you had some shoes that you'd bought from Dykeman's and a furry coat. It's not really a look, is it? It's a coat. The best looks in this one were Cameron. She's fast becoming the queen of everything, isn't she? Every look has a ton of stuff attached to it. I thought Aquaria's winter look was perfect. She looked absolutely stunning in this, I thought. I also thought that Dusty's look was really great. Really regal, and it suited her form because she's very long and thin and tall, and all of the puff sleeves and everything else. It really suited her and it allowed her to use that incredible long neck that she's got. She looked like an ice queen. Perfect. Now we're on to the final act of the ball. My least favourites in this for our Martian look were Monét. It was just like, I think it was this sort of thing that she was going for, because she'd said she wanted some structure and but if you look at it, they're not lined up, they're not level. And as Asia was saying in the workroom, she didn't make a pattern. Well, if you don't make a pattern, you're not going to make a successful garment. Like, you're going to really struggle to make something that works. And it was also, weirdly open at the back, and it just looked really rough, really rough. And again, the wig was there were just so many flyaway bits of it. It looked like a really nice wig that had just been mistreated a bit. The other outfit that I wasn't keen on was Vixen's. Again, just really shapeless. You can sell it as if you're a stick thin supermodel, but she's just a bit too butch about it to sell it in that way. So it didn't work. The other outfit that I just thought wasn't great for this was Dusty's. She'd spent all of that time making it and stabbing herself with things, and the stuff that she'd stabbed herself with, you couldn't really see. Like, it wasn't obvious that it was like a chainmail, or it just didn't look very good. And as the judges said, it wasn't really fit for the criteria. It didn't fit the criteria at all. I think the people whose outfits in this were the best were Eureka. I thought it was really funny what she'd made, whilst also looking really well made. There'd been time and thought and care put into it, and it suited her shape, and then that enormous headpiece. The other person who I thought had the best outfit on the runway was Aquaria. We've seen other queens do similar things to this before and it just not work. Like, I didn't think that Milk's worked in All Stars. The way that Aquaria sold this, it just worked perfectly. And then the details on the eyes and everywhere else, everything was just tied in. There was just enough of everything and not too much of anything. I thought it was really beautifully executed. I also thought that Monet's was really stunning. I thought she'd done a really great job on this. A special mention to Blair. The craftsmanship on her outfit was extraordinary. Everything was so perfectly fitted and perfectly in line, and when you have a pattern like that, to get it so that everything's perfect is very difficult. And of course to Cracker, who, although it was a leotard, again, she sold it in a way that made it more than just a leotard. It was a story, it was an idea. So this week, rising to the top, it was the age of Aquaria, and rightly so. She really stepped up to the plate for this and absolutely nailed every single bit of it. The people in the bottom were Asia, Dusty and Monét X Change. Asia, I think, because she helped so many people, sort of saved herself. I think the fact that she'd helped so many people held her back, but then it also allowed the judges to say, well, you know, there's more going on here, so you get to come back next week. So the people doing the lip sync were Monét and Dusty, and my word, was it a lip sync or what? This was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Dusty really went for it. However, those shoes, I would have sent you home just for those shoes. For some reason, there's loads of really ugly shoes all the time this season. Like, I don't think I've ever seen so many ugly shoes on Drag Race, but they're so flat and they're so block heels and they've got all straps. Ugly shoes. Dusty does a great job, but Monét is on a completely different level. She's got comedy in there. She's got a little reveal, you know, ripping off the skirt. She's really thought about where can I put these little points of interest throughout this whole song, right down to the here's the split. No, I'm not doing a split, and then doing a split later, and using the gas mask. It was genius. The whole lot of it was genius. So this week we waved goodbye to Dusty Ray Bottoms. But she does have a single out, so go and check that out. Now we're on to our points of view from the UK and Ireland. Here are our queens.
Hi Divina, it's Victoria here in Dublin, Ireland, and I'm here with the results of the Irish jury. Firstly, I'm doing something very brave. There's not even one ring light in front of me, so you're seeing all natural right now. I've also no green screen like you fancy lady over there in Gran Canaria, so I'm standing in front of my apartment door because I'm real bougie like that. I've just watched the episode and I thought it was amazing. I mean, the girls were really pushed this week to do 3 different looks in one day. Some of them even changed their faces 3 times. Like Cameron changed her makeup head to toe. Apparently they had like an hour and a half in between looks to change, but like I can barely do one face and Cameron gave me 3 faces. My top of the week would be Aquaria. Those 3 looks were amazing. Like every single one of them had an amazing concept and was perfectly carried off. And my bottom of the week is probably, I probably agree with the judges, Dusty Ray Bottoms. I think it was her time to go, I really do. It kind of has been rotting me though since episode 1 when Michelle said to her, oh, are you going to do dots every week? And I was like, girl, it is week 1. You do your dots. You do your dots next week. You do your dots the week after, because we all know what happens when they change. They're gone home, aka Max when she finally stopped wearing grey hair. And also, if we all look the same, we're going to be really boring. So do your dots. Special mention this week probably goes to Mayhem Miller. I think she finally overcame wearing 2 belts in her promo look. I think she finally made up for it because they were really testing me with those 2 belts. Because her looks were fab this week. And lastly, the lip sync was amazing. Like, Pound the Alarm is a hard song to sing. There's like 3 dance breaks. So there's nowhere to hide on that stage for 3 dance breaks. And Monét X Change killed it. I mean, I cackled for about an hour like a witch on the couch when she did that like thing where she looked like she was going to go into the splits. Anyway, it was an amazing episode and I cannot wait to see what's coming next. See you soon, bye! Yeah, I'm not wearing nails, sorry.
Don't forget, if you would like to join in, send your video to divinadecampo@hotmail.co.uk. You can find the email in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will be back next week with another review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10, and it'll be episode 5. Oh my gosh, it's just running away with us this season. So I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.